My name is Elaine Vickers and this is my Cancer Basics video series. In this video, I'm going to discuss whether we can refer to cancer as being a genetic disease. Now, some people would have a very firm opinion on this and they would say a very definite yes or no. What it all hinges on is what do we mean when we use the word genetic. If you've watched my earlier videos, then you'll know that our cells contain chromosomes. Chromosomes are made of DNA. DNA contains genes, and genes the instructions for making proteins. Cancer cells contain gene mutations that cause them to make faulty proteins, and that's what drives their faulty behavior. So if by genetic we mean caused by faulty genes, then yes, cancer is a genetic disease. But if when we talk about genetics, we're talking about inheritance and the versions of genes we inherit from our parents, then the answer is less clear. And often inheritance is the first thing we think of when we hear the term genetics. We think it runs in the family. Here you've got 3 generations of a family. Grandpa has inherited a faulty gene that has caused him to develop cancer. He's passed on this faulty gene to his son, and he's passed it on to his son, and so too, he has a high risk of developing cancer. Some people's cancers are like this. They can be linked back to faulty genes that are being passed down through generations of the family. But most cancers aren't caused by the inheritance of faulty genes. They're caused by mutations in genes that have occurred in cells during the person's lifetime. So how many cancers are hereditary and caused by faulty genes that are being passed down through the generations? Well, in fact, it's about 12%, about 12 in every 100 people developing cancer. You can sometimes see if a person's cancer is linked to an inherited faulty gene if you look at their family tree. If lots of family members have been affected by cancer, and the cancers were of a particular type, such as breast or ovarian cancer, and if they developed cancer at a young age, and they're all closely related to one another, then quite possibly, yes, there is a faulty gene being passed down through the generations that's putting family members at a much higher risk of cancer than most people in the population. To recap, damaged genes cause cells to make faulty proteins, and it's those faulty proteins that cause them to become cancer cells. If by genetic we mean cancer is to do with genes, then yes, cancer is a genetic disease. But if by genetic we're talking about inheritance, then no, most cancers aren't inherited. In fact, about 12% of cancers can be linked to inherited faulty genes. Most cancers are caused by gene mutations that have occurred during the person's lifetime.